Well, this is awkward. An empty studio. Nobody watching. How did that happen? Let's get Facebook aboard. We'll just get Facebook aboard, folks, and I'll explain why we're having problems this morning. Okay, good morning, folks. That's a Facebook aboard. I'm sorry about the notification for today's programme. I did schedule it, but it would appear I've had a restream update, and that took it down. So I don't know how many of you will be able to find the stream this morning, because I only rescheduled it 15 minutes ago. Morning, Derek, first to Facebook is in, although the audience number is climbing very well. So that's good news. I'm glad you've found your way to the stream this morning. We have a lot to talk about. We're getting to the 100 mark. We'll get a wee minute there. We'll put Facebook in. We'll say hello to a few of you. Hi Evelyn, hi Mark, hi Eddie, hi Stephen, Margaret, Stephen Nicol, John Baxter, John Wardrobe, Duncan McCretcher, Aki's Mad, June Dalrymple, Indy Scott Bryan, Lenny, Derek, Liz, Stevie Kenny, Stevie Bankier, June, William Watson, hi William, John Baxter, Chris, hi George, hi Stephen, hi Mark, Mad Monk, Reagan Elite. I think we've got you all there. Facebook up. Doug, hi Doug. Right, we're going to screw back down to the bottom. We'll get this underway because we have just hit the 100 mark. Right, it's Indy Talk Davy on the 29th to the 1st, 2025. And as you can see, I'm out the truck and in my office at my home in Salisbury, North Lanarkshire, where it is a beautiful morning, crisp, clear, 4 degrees. No bad. No bad for the end of January. Right, managed to get £500 of your money out the door yesterday, folks. And right after this programme, I've got the details of two more food banks, Cast and Tane. And there's one in another area, one in Inverness as well. So, be another £500 out the door today. Still waiting on a fourth food bank getting back to me, but I don't think the woman took my call seriously. That happens often. You try to tell them, look, this is genuine. Here's where to get the information. Look at the channel. You'll see what it is every day. And then get back to me. Didn't hear back from her. So I'll give her another call and try and convince her. But no, a scam. We are actually trying to give them money. As I've said before, often in this programme and on the Two Davies, it is difficult to give money away. People think you're trying to scam them because you're phoning them up out the blue. But hey ho, so that'll be another £1,000 you guys will have given to good causes this month. And hopefully it'll be 1,250 if this other food bank in the Inverness area gets back to me. Okay, it's called Foodstuff Inverness. So if you're listening, Foodstuff Inverness, get back to me. We've got money. We want to give it to you. Okay. Right, first up this morning, we've got a loony right-wing rag, the Express. I'll put it up. And we have Biffa green light to seek 166 million compensation over botched deposit return scheme. Judge go ahead for waste firm to sue the government. Couple of things wrong with that headline. That is, the bit that says botched DRS scheme. This scheme wasn't botched at all. This scheme was ready to go, and right up until 2 weeks, and I mean 2 weeks before the scheme was supposed to go live, Alistair Union Jack, Westminster lip spittle, stepped in and vetoed the exemption for the internal market bill, because it was an embarrassment for Westminster that Holyrood was ready to go first on this scheme. So what was it that scuppered the scheme? Glass bottles. We'd included glass bottles in our deposit return scheme. England wasn't putting glass into their deposit return scheme. So they vetoed our deposit return scheme through the internal market bill using a Section 35 order. And it could end up costing the public purse up to £1 billion. Because Biff is not the only one that's going to sue. These companies spend a lot of money getting ready for their scheme going live, and then Alistair Union Jack pulled the rug out from under the scheme 2 weeks before it was going to go live because it'd be embarrassment to Westminster. Here's the interesting bit, folks. It was spiteful. How do we know it was spiteful? Because they've given the OK for glass in Wheals deposit return scheme. Saying that, Wheals did something that Scotland should have done and tell them, fuck you, we're doing it. That's why it was granted to Wheals. Hold on, to see what legend we've got this morning. Hello? 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 Oh well, their money. So it was spiteful. It was outrageous. And I say, by time this is over, it could take £1 billion, including the court costs of all these companies, out of the public purse, meaning out of Scottish public services. And that was done deliberately, and it was done for spite. Scotland was ready to go live on something that England was nowhere near ready to go live on, and wasn't going to go live on it for a couple more years. And a deposit return for glass bottles happens here in Scotland anyway. Duns, Currys, bars, they all have deposit return schemes. No doubt there are other manufacturers here in Scotland as well who have deposit return schemes. So it was just spiteful, and it could end up costing Scotland dearly. But when you get right down to it, these companies are actually suing their own government, so there's every chance that the Scottish Supreme Court will redirect them to sue the Westminster government. Because when Lorna Slater gives her evidence that the scheme was ready to go, and 2 weeks before it was to go live, Alistair Jack put the boot in. Because remember, up until then they were getting that exemption. Westminster had agreed to the exemption, but Alistair Jack decided it was too embarrassing for Westminster, for Scotland to be first. It was fucking horrid. It was spiteful, and it's exactly what a unionist is. A spiteful saddler with lip spittle who kisses the arse of the elite. Saying that, Alistair Jack's one of them. Anyway, let's move on. The Scotsman has. I think I've got that there and also we'll stick it up. It's there somewhere. Oh, whatever that is, it disappeared. There it's there. The Scotsman has Slater defends DRS as 160 million case looms. No regrets for ex-minister as waste firms get go ahead to sue. Of course there's no fucking regret for Lorna Slater. As I've just said, it was ready to go live. And right up until 2 weeks before it was going live, they had permission to do it. And see, Alistair Jack stepped in. He decided it was too embarrassing for Westminster for Scotland to be first. Let's take that down. Next up, we have the Herald. What's the Herald going on the day? Well, it's on trains, of course, because they're doing an an investigation into ScotRail, apparently. So far, they've got it wrong, but apparently ScotRail boss sorry over station ordeal. Disabled person left stranded because there was no staff at the station to help them on. The only thing that confused me about the story here in the front page of the Herald is why didn't the train guard get off and help that person on? That's the question that's going to be asked. Is this another bollocks story? Or should somebody be getting into trouble? That's why we have manned trains. Let's get that done. Next up, we have the Rancid. And as you know, I don't put the Daily Record up. And the Rancid quote, poverty hits 1 in 5 Scots. So, poverty hits 1 in 5 Scots households, 500,000 are too poor to heat homes. Government urged to slash bills. Okay. As you know, I don't put that one up. But, as I say, I hope the unionist shrills here in Scotland realise what it is they've done to their own people. We as a collective give away between £750 and £1,000 a month to feed people in our communities because of fucking Westminster. And now we've got 500,000 people living in fuel poverty. Oh dear. Well, by the way, the Record was muddying the waters there as well. In their headline, they didn't point out which government it is that they want to slash bills. That's deliberate. Because here they try to make Holyrood responsible for everything, even though energy is a reserved area. But Scotland is in fact, it is the most energy-rich country in Europe, and yet we have the highest electricity bills in Europe, thanks to that shower of shite down that road, allowing profiteering in our energy market. Right, this one's a cracker for the Daily Fail. I'll stick it up. This one's a non-story, and it's an attempt to make people angry, even though they're no. And what we go, fury as water bills to soar by 9.9% in the latest cost of living squeeze. Another drain on my family's finances. Household space and eye-watering 10% a hike in their water bill from April. You know what? This is a misleading headline. And it's going to Davy the fact that Maesties don't even notice our water bills here. It has to do with how we pay our water bills here. We pay it alongside the council tax. Okay, so for example, my council tax for my Band D home is only £890 a year. And then you add on 336 quid for the water bill, and that totals the total of my council tax for the year, £1,126. I don't even notice the water bill. Whereas if you're in England, your average council tax bill is £600 higher, and then you get a water bill on top of it. So if anybody in England thinks we're the highest tax part of the UK, that's their chump. My council tax is only £890. My water bill's £336. Roll the two of them together, I get an annual bill of £1,126. So that's going to go up by 10%. So I'm going to get an extra 36 quid on my water bill. You know, I won't even notice it, but more importantly, it's worth every fucking penny because we have clean waters. We have clean fresh water come through our taps. Our waterways are no full of shite. And I don't even notice it because of how it's paid. It's paid as a part of the council tax, so we don't even notice it. So the idea that there's an uproar, there isn't. The Daily Fail's trying to create one. It's also diverting attention away from the fact that the average bill in England's went up about 17%. Some of them as high as 41%. But hey, but that's a fail for you. So it just goes to show you, folks, these people are trying to they're trying to encourage anger where there is none there. Because most of us don't even notice our water bill. It's part of our council tax annually. And as I say, my council tax for a Band D house in North Lanarkshire, rural North Lanarkshire, is only £890 a year. Throw in the water, which last year was 336 quid. And they, 1,126 quid. That is good value for money, folks. And it's worth it to have clean fresh water coming through our taps and not to have our waterways full of shite. Right, next up we'll get the National. We'll stick it up, as I always do. This one's a cracker, folks. And I mean it's a cracker. Hold on. Get rid of that. Let's see, we have two of them. Right, the National. Here we go. The National has Robson's budget will pass as Greens and Lib Dems agree to give their support. WASPy payout backed by just one Scottish Labour MP. SNP compensation bill passes, but will it make any further progress? So it's past the first stage. Will it get any further? Don't think so. Anyway, Leishman, the only Sarwar branch office team member not to abstain. Flynn, they're spineless and not capable of standing up for Scotland. And that is absolutely true. We all knew they were either going to vote with the Westminster Party or they were all going to abstain. And in this case, they got permission for the whips to abstain. And only one of them had the cojones to stand up to Starmer. Only one. Maybe he's in the wrong party. That particular one. But that is an outrage. Or we'll just sit this one out because it'll make our constituents angry. By sitting it out, you've just made your constituents fucking angry. Labour. We can see the Tories and Reform UK overtaking you in the polls here in Scotland. Shortly, Labour. A fucking terrible way to behave. And doing the voting there, BBC reports on lack of Scottish talent route after denying there is an issue. So earlier, they wanted us to change our accents to suit the English people. And now they're saying there's no talent. And then there is talent. Then there's no talent. Who cares? It's a fucking BBC. Propaganda fucking rag anyway. Put that down. Next up, we have the Times. We'll stick that up. No messing about today, folks. Putting them up. Here we go. The Times. We have no regrets, says firm that switched to 4-day week. People will be more productive if they think they've had to get it done in a lesser time, and it's going to be a bonus for the next day off. And PM invokes Thatcher and promise to cut red tape. Starmer, I'll clear regulatory weeds from business. Deregulation. take us further and further away from our biggest market, making it even harder for people to trade. This lot keep saying growth, 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 but they haven't got a fucking clue how to get it. We are all trying to tell them how to get growth, but they're no fucking listening. And because they're no listening, they are still taking more and more money out of people's pockets, and that means there is less in circulation to be spent into the economy. We have a fucking market economy, Rachel Reeves. This isn't fucking rocket science. Put money in people's pockets, they will spend it in the market. Invest in infrastructure, because it doesn't cost nothing. You build a piece of infrastructure, and it's worth the amount of money you spent to build it, and you still own the fucking infrastructure. It's like how wealth works. I won £1 million, and my mate says to me, "What you going to do with it, Davey?" I'm saying, "I'm going to buy it £1 million. Who's?" He says, "You haven't fucking spent anything. You've just turned it from one type of fucking asset into another one. You've just spent nothing." So, want to grow the economy? Put money in people's fucking pockets. But no, they're going to cut benefits further. They're going to slash the public finances. They want 5% deduction in spend in each ministry. And invest in fucking infrastructure. It's no rocket science. It's a market economy. You want a market economy to fucking boom? Give people jobs. We need infrastructure. Get them building it. That means they've got money in their pockets. And that money can then be spent into the economy. But it's also important that the pensioners, the students, and the unemployed, of which there is fucking nearly 5 million of, they have to be able to spend into the market as well. Because absolutely every penny they get gets spent in the market. Every penny. But there's no way to tell these people. They are just fucking illiterate or ignorant or deliberately protecting the 1% who are getting richer and richer and richer because they own all the resources. The only way to get this economy growing is to take the fucking resources back. Simple as that. Okay. Right, next up we have the Telegraph. I'll stick this one up and all. Because everything has to be sacrificed on the altar of growth, and they don't know how to fucking get it. They're too thick to get it. They don't understand the basic principles of how a fucking economy works. Reeves, I will fight for growth. You don't need to fight, you stupid bitch. You just need to spend. These people are thick as fuck. They're saying, you spend in infrastructure, you haven't spent nothing. You've just changed paper for a solid fucking asset. That'll also get people working, and it'll get them out spending into the economy. And then you put more money into pensioners' pockets, into students' pockets, and into the unemployed's pockets, and into the long-term sick pockets. And they also spend into the market. But because they don't have much disposable income, they spend fucking everything that they have in the market. These people are economically illiterate folks. I mean economically illiterate. And these fiscal rules, there are no such thing as fiscal rules. As David and I have explained before, I've decided that every one of you with 50 pence in your pocket's got to give me 10. They're a fiscal fucking rule. Well, made up on the spot nonsense. FBI hands dossier of Mandelson's alleged links to China. The US have just accepted Lord fucking the Dark Lord as the UK ambassador to the US, but on the condition that they got handed the information on Mandelson's dealings in China. Okay. What's that other one there? I'll just blow it up so I can see that other headline. Macron vows British will pay more to see Mona Lisa. Don't need to worry about it. None of us have got the fucking money to go anywhere anymore. Mental. Take that down. Right. What's the Murdoch rag got for us today, the scum? It goes on a celebrity story. Storm over lewd sex gags. Wayne, I'm so sorry. Who the fuck is he? And what's this crap about sex gags? Sex gags have been part of the culture for as long as I've been alive. I've seen as many women make sex gags and talk about sexuality as what I've seen men. Aye, all sorts. It's nice to see you there, folks. Folks give you all sorts of look. He's good. Right, next up, the I. Electric vehicle charging boost as Reeves drives for UK growth. She's going to put 55 million quid into putting street side chargers in. No doubt that'll be for London alone. 55 million quid. Don't spend that much, Rachel. You're a bit of a fucking idiot anyway. Electric vehicles are no the future. Hydrogen vehicles are the future. And we can produce clean hydrogen easily with the excess power we're producing from the wind turbines. Okay. Right, the Metro goes on. A tax dodging story. Abramovich super yachts and tax avoidance scandal. And apparently he's registered his yachts in Cyprus or something like that as a tax dodge. But super rich person doesn't pay tax. Where's the fucking news flashing that? We know they don't pay fucking tax. It's one of the reasons why your economy's flatlining and has done since 2021, January. It's been like a slow car crash ever since. And it can all be taken to Brexit. And the lying fuckers that convinced the people of England and Wales that Brexit would be a good idea. Well, that slow car crash continues. It's not over yet, folks. And our markets are in contraction and are likely to stay in contraction because companies here in the UK have got no markets to grow into. And of course, we here living on these islands don't have enough disposable income to sustain the internal market. Class action. I know you keep saying you've haunted my arse over EVs before. I'm not going to argue with you. I think the future will be hydrogen. You think the future will be electric vehicles. The future of what is no who's right. I'm not going to argue with you about class action. We base different opinions on it. Time will tell which one of us was correct. Maybe they'll go for a mix of two. You know, maybe it'll just be heavy vehicles that'll run on hydrogen. Never know. Anyway, I say it's fine to have a difference of opinion on electric vehicles. You know, and it is a big debate at the moment, folks. It is. The reason why I'm backing hydrogen is because the infrastructure is already there. Whereas with EV, you've got to spend billions on building the infrastructure. But when it comes to changing to hydrogen cells, it's just a matter of filling the tanks up at the petrol stations with hydrogen, liquid hydrogen, as opposed to filling up with petrol or diesel. And you can just fill your car up the way you've always filled it up. That's why I think hydrogen will win out. Because the infrastructure's already there. Okay? And it would be the cheaper option. But, as I say, class action and I have had this debate before, and now it's down to history to let us know who's right. We could be wrong. Maybe something else will come along. There you go. Right, and last up is the Star. I'm afraid, Alistair, I'm going to have to let you down again. No boffins a day. But this one's a stormer. Absolutely, positively, 100%, definitely nothing at all to worry about here, folks. Now psycho scumbag chatbots learn to clone themselves. I didn't know we had psycho scumbag chatbots. Well, that's new to me. Let's blow this up and see what this wee bit here says, shall we? What does that say? Dastardly chatbots have learned how to replicate themselves without human help. Amid fears they will go rogue. Yikes. Oh, that's a star headline, if I've ever seen a star headline. Absolutely brilliant. So apparently now, all the chatbots out there in AI world are psychos. Ah, well. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful stuff. That's a star headline for you. You can't beat it. Now, folks, I say, I've got the details in another couple of food banks in the Inverness and Moray area. And I'm off to the bank right after this programme to get another 500 quid a year money out the door to help more of our communities who are struggling with food poverty. That's fucking mind-boggling, folks. It's mind-boggling. We even produce enough food. We produce that much food that we export it. And yet we've got people here going fucking hungry. Because those idiots next door are economic illiterates. Simple as that. And the people of England, Wales and Northern Ireland are suffering along ways. And I'm sure somewhere down in England there'll be a couple of bloggers like David and I doing the same thing. But as a community, folks, we're taking it in with our own hands to help each other. And that's massive, folks. Massive. Conspiracy theories are the future's news. Is that right, Dean? Can't argue with you. Yeah, we've seen some wacky shit come through in my lifetime. Anyway, folks, I'm going to make sure that this stream is scheduled for tomorrow. As I say, we had a restream update and it took down the scheduled programme for this morning. Unfortunately, he's off on your way in. Thanks for joining me in such large numbers. Look after each other. I'll be back tomorrow to do it all again at 10:30 in the morning. And then Davey and I will be on the more afternoon to do the Two Davies. And then we'll tell you who got the money and how much. Okay? As I say, I'm still waiting for one coming through. But I don't think the woman took me seriously. She probably didn't even write down my email address and probably didn't check out the channel. But what I will do is I'll phone her up again and try and assure her that this isn't a scam and we do want to help. Okay, bye for now, folks. We'll see you in the morning. Look after each other. Thanks to the mods. Sorry. Thanks to anybody who's battered out a super chat today. I haven't been watching the comments. Sorry. And hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button.